Alright guys, welcome back again to more Tsukihime. Here we go.
遠野くんを助ける手段は教会にはありません。教会にあるものはロアを利用する方針だけで、転生体を助けようとする方法なんてなかったんです。あなたを失わずにロアだけを殺す手段なんてどこにも。
I see. If that's how it has to be, at least she tried. I should have known it would never be that easy.
でもそれはシエル先輩が泣くようなことじゃない。
いいえ、私がもっとしっかりしていれば、ロアを追うことばかり考えず、もっと他の道を探していれば違う可能性だってあったはずなんです。だからもう私にできることはロアの侵食を少しでも遅くすることしかできない。苦しいって遠野くんがどれだけ苦しいのか知っているのに、それでも少しでも長くそばにいてほしいって、そんな自分勝手なことばっかり考えてるんです、私は。
I don't want to watch her cry. So I pull her close, where I can't see her tears.
遠野くん。
俺だってできるだけ一緒にいたい。先輩は自分勝手じゃないですよ。自分勝手なのは俺の方なんだから。それに先輩がしつこくロアを追いかけていたから今があるんじゃないですか。全部を取るなんてできない。こうして先輩と一緒にいられる今の代わりにロアを消す手段を作られても嬉しくない。そんなの全然欲求不満です。
でもそれじゃ。
勘違いしないで。俺ロアなんかに負けるつもりはこれっぽっちもありませんから。
I remember what Arkwait said. It's a gamble, but I still have one last card to play.
ロアの相手は俺がします。自分のことですからね。けど確かに俺じゃアルクエイドを止められないんで、そっちは任せます。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Ciel's arm squeezed tight around my waist. I bring my lips to hers as we embrace. But then she hops back like a startled rabbit.
キスはダメですよ。そんなことされたら私嬉しすぎて気が抜けちゃいます。ですから今は抱き合うだけにしておきましょう。
だね。じゃあ少し離れてるけどピンチになったら呼んでください。すぐに駆けつけますから。
Ciel nods silently. I turn away, trusting my life is safe in her hands.
ごめんなさい。一つだけ忘れ物がありました。
忘れ物ですか？
はい。明日になったら街に遊びに行きましょう。乾くんと3人でこの前のやり直しをするんです。
Her smile warms me from the inside. Thank goodness. Our promise really did mean something to her after all.
それじゃあ約束。
I offer her a handshake.
はい、今度はちゃんと守ってくださいね。
Ciel's fingers brush against mine. She shakes my hand vigorously, then her soft touch withdraws. The school was quiet. I seclude myself in the third floor passage, draw my knife, and take a deep breath. Sia will keep her word. If she said she'll keep me safe, I trust that she'll stop at nothing to protect me. Unfortunately, I'm just as stubborn. I don't want to lose her any more than she wants to lose me.
そうだよな。何を弱気になってるんだ、俺は。
I've got to start thinking about my next move. Holding up here might work for a while, but I can't stay on the sidelines forever. Against someone as strong as CL, even Arkway won't be able to watch her back all the time. She'll let her guard down eventually. And that's when I'll strike.
俺が先輩を勝たせる。
If I take one false step, Arkway will tear me to pieces. That's exactly why CL sent me away. But I'm going to try anyway, whether she likes it or not. I'll watch and wait until the very last moment. Then I'll turn the tables. CL and I will beat Arkway together and force her to accept our relationship.
なんだそりゃ。仲人役の神父か、あいつは。
In spite of my circumstances, I can't help but laugh.
お前との決着はその後だ。いいだろう、ロア。
Once we've fended Arkway off, I'll have one last desperate gamble to make. My odds of survival are low. I don't even know if my idea will work, but it's my only shot. I was given these eyes for a reason. The day will come when I'll have to make use of them, or so somebody once told me long ago.
ああ、そうだね。きっとこれが俺の役割なんだ、先生。
Alright, I'm ready. Now I just have to wait for the battle to start. The school shudders violently. It's like a dump truck crashed into the building at full speed.
まさか、もう
The floor is still shaking. She must have smashed right through the ground floor. Only a few minutes have passed since CL warned that Arkway had pulled out her stake. There's only one way she got from the park to here in that time. The idiot didn't even think to scout out the battlefield. She just charged straight for us at top speed like a pissed-off homing missile. Impact after impact rocks the building. I can't believe this is her. The Arkway I knew was powerful, sure, and she could do some crazy things. But she wasn't irrational. She understood her relationship with society. She realized that subtlety was essential to peaceful coexistence. She could be ruthless in executing her goals, but she wouldn't resort to ruthlessness to achieve them. Not that that's true anymore. The creature she has become will stop at nothing to get what she wants. No different from Blob. I recall Sia and Arkway's midnight battle in the park. Sia could only fight back because Arkway in her own way still conformed to human rules. She cared about maintaining the dignity that separates a true ancestor from a dead apostle. But if she's abandoned her pride, what happens then?
違う。捨てたんじゃない。
I cut it away. The creature 2 floors down is not the woman I knew. She's a blood-starved vampire, just as ravenous as Vlav. I was a fool to assume she'd behave as she always has.
先輩
I set off running for the lower floors. How arrogant to think I could hang back and wait for an opening. The real answer was to fight her on her own terms, to abandon my rationality and hit her with everything I've got. Well, damn, it's a hellscape in this whole school now. The ground floor is a living nightmare. I halt on the landing, stunned. The corridor lies in ruins, torn apart by overwhelming strength next to the catacombs beneath the department store or Vlov's Arctic Code. This is comparatively mundane. But my legs are frozen stiff. The sight holds captive the very breath in my lungs, my consciousness itself. This once familiar hallway now feels utterly alien. The air hangs as thick as amniotic fluid. It feels like the womb of some primal beast where every atom of every molecule bends to Arcwade's will. Well, that's not good. Amidst it all, the battle has ended in a crushing defeat. Only 30 meters separates us, but they seem a world away. Countless black keys, all broken, litter the corridor. Globs of blood and flesh peel off the walls and ceiling to converge the shattered body trying to reform. Herself is pressed against the wall, empty-handed and helpless, with Arcwade's claws around her throat, like a butterfly pinned to a spreading board. On the brink of death, seems blind to anything besides Arcwade. Arcwade's fingers brush her throat. With a wet gurgle, they puncture the skin before slipping lovingly down to her waist. Lurid color sprays as body sags, sliced open like a fish. You might want to help her out now, dude. Arcwade's claw returns to chest. Her fingers splay wide and plunge deep as though punching through a virgin snow, and grasp for the heart. I can't watch this. Might be immortal, but pulling her heart from her chest while she's still alive? That's sick. Arcwade caresses her prey's head with her talons. Then she swipes down, shaving flesh away from cranium to groin, as though rubbing her with an eraser. I call out, still frozen stiff. Arcwade glances back at me with detached contempt. She might as well be looking at a bug. Under the weight of her gaze, I forget I'm even human.
なんだ、ちゃんといるじゃない。そこで待っていて。すぐに終わらせてあげるから。
With a savage laugh, Arcwade returns to brutalizing. She holds her in place by her broken collarbone, using her other hand to rake again and again at her flesh.
呆れた。これでも元に戻るなんて。やっぱりロア本人を殺さないとダメってこと。
Flesh tears. A grim repetition of the torment endured at the hands of the church unfolds.
私がロアを取り込んでしまえば、あなたは私が死ぬまで生き続けるしかなくなる。あなたが死ぬには、教会で用意した転生批判の聖剣でロアを殺さないといけない。それがどうしたって言うんですか。
Groans in agony, barely holding on to consciousness.
けれどいいの？ロアが死ぬということはあなたも死ぬということなのよ。ロアを消滅させてしまえばあなたのこの体も普通のつまらない人間の体に戻ってしまうでしょう。それが私の望みです。そう、かわいそうね。あなたの望みは叶えられない。私は今度こそロアを取り込む。あそこにいる肉塊をこの手で何百回と引き裂いてね。
Body jerks wildly. Her crimson heart emerges into the open air, trailing the rest of her organs behind it. Even then, she doesn't stay dead for long. Blood sputters from her mouth as her consciousness returns. Something snaps inside my head. Agony springs to my temples. Nausea climbs up my throat. I slam my head against the wall. Look at her. That parasite's the last of your concerns. What matters now is stopping her from laying another finger on... Look at her. Overclock your brain until your veins burst into flame. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look and find her death.
どうして
It's enough to drive me mad. I see death defacing the living, the inanimate, the air itself, but Arcade alone remains pristine. Somebody told me once that the laws of nature decree her perfect by virtue of her existence. True ancestors exist as extensions of the planet, drawing their vitality from its own reserves. They have no such thing as a lifespan. They will never age, never tire, never die. In other words, her invincibility is a function of the natural world. Look around. It has to be somewhere. If I can see every kind of death, surely I can see this. All this time I've been barking up the wrong tree. Arcade is insulated from the very possibility of death. But that means, if I can kill whatever's granting her that protection, she'll no longer be invincible. There. It's a long way away, and Arcade is right here. If I run straight for it, she'll realize what I'm doing. I'll be dead before I even get close. But I have to try. I can't let this gruesome display go on for more than a second. Perhaps she felt my determination, or perhaps her faculties include the ability to sense impending death. She gives me a dubious glance, follows my line of sight, then turns back to me.
本気
With an incredulous hiss, she lets Ciao drop. No time to second guess myself. A human might have taken the stairs, but not me.
動くな
Like I listen to you. Take your warning and shove it. I smashed through the schoolyard window before Arcade can even move. My objective lies in the middle of the sports field. It's a long way to run. I don't know if I'll make it. I hear Arcade tear through the concrete wall behind me. She's giving me the time I need. Arcade is humanely fast, but I'm not a human either. Just this once, I'm gonna come out on top. I arrive at my destination, a colossal point of death. Arcade barrels straight for me, but before her claws can rip me apart, I drive my knife straight down and kill the very earth beneath my feet. The air twists in an audible crunch. With my knife, I spill the world's lifeblood. Arcade's link to the planet's life force goes dead as I kill this layer of the natural world, the foundation of everything around us.
考えたわねシキ
The white avatar comes for me, eyes trained on me alone. Lines crisscross her body. Night still blesses her, but her authority is fatally besmirched.
よし
I can do it. I can really do it. I can kill her. But before I can even revel in the possibility, blood explodes from my mouth, staining my vision red. Her monstrous speed is too fast to process. For a moment, I feel nothing. The shock and pain numbed by disbelief. Only now do I hear the tearing of flesh and bone. My lifeblood drains away in spurts. I look down, and I see Arcade's arm punch clean through me. My vision begins to blur. The world rapidly falls away. One pale arm skewers my chest, obliterating my old scar. It's a grievous wound. If I were human, it would have killed me instantly. But I'm not done yet. I still have enough life in me for one final push. That dark shadow swallows my feet and begins to climb. That dark shadow can go to hell. Swallowing back a mouthful of my own blood, I drive my knife into the line scrawled across Arcwade's chest. I suppose that must have been her voice. I can't really tell anymore. My head is liquefying. Maybe the pain is overwhelming my consciousness. Maybe my brain is finally burning out. Either way, the Reaper's hand is on my shoulder. The world begins to dim. But before it goes, I ensure my knife completes its arc. I suppose I wanted to settle things with Arcwade myself. I know what she's like. Though we spent only a few days together, I am all too familiar with her lack of common sense. What strange things she says for a vampire, and how much tougher she is than she looks. But even knowing all that,
だじゃねえ。死にづらいにも程があるだろ。疲れたんなら消えろ、吸血鬼。
ふざけないで。この程度で私は死なないんだから。
Arcwade's hand closes over my face. Before she can crush my skull, I slash her breastbone open.
いいから消えろ。ロアは俺が連れて行く。お前に手間なんかかけさせないで、必ずあの世に連れて行ってやる。だから消えろ。俺はお前とバカな殺し合いなんざやりたくない。
今さら何よ。私を拒んだのはあなたの方じゃない。
Arcwade squeezes tighter. I hear my skull start to fracture.
ドアはここで殺すの。絶対に殺すの。そうでもしなければ帰らないって言ったでしょ。
この
I've had enough of her temper tantrums. She should know better than anyone that killing Roa won't solve shit. My knife dances through the air. It glides silently into Arcwade's arm. Her hand remains attached, but it relaxes its grip. Thank God. She must be running out of fumes as well. She retreats unsteadily, reeling from the blood loss. Her arms slide back out of my chest. The intimacy of her presence recedes. As soon as she steps away, I crumple to the ground.
しき。
Her voice sounds strangely hesitant. My throat doesn't seem to be working. Something's clogging it. I try to speak but only manage to cough out blood.
しき。
The tautness in the air is relaxing. Arcwade's murderous aura gradually dissipates. I must have knocked some sense into her, because she's finally turning back to the person I knew.
よかった。
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I suppose this is how it ends.
しっかりしてシキ。そんな傷ぐらいシキが私のものになってくれるならすぐに平気になるんだから。
Arcwade reaches towards me. But even as my mind fades, I raise my hand to stop her.
なんでシキ、このままだと死んじゃうんだよ。いい、さっきのことは許してあげる。シエルのことも気にしない。そんなことより私シキに亡くなってほしくない。だからお願いだから私のものに。
Even breathing is a struggle now, but I somehow find the strength to shake my head.
わからない。シキが死んじゃったらロアはまた転生してしまう。シキだってロアを恨んでいるんでしょ。そのままだとあなたが死んでしまった後、 ロアがその体を乗っ取るだけ。そんな結末でいいの？
She has a point. That's one loose end I have to tie up. But if I do what she says, it would just repeat the cycle. Even if I did as she asked, even if I followed Roa's path, become a vampire, and develop the strength to resist him, Roa would still never disappear until Arkway gave him the affection he craves.
ダメだ。お前の言うことは聞けない。
どうしてそんなに私のことが嫌いなの？
Like hell I do. I'd never say that even as a joke.
お前の気持ちもわかるけど、もう許してやってくれ。ロアはさ、お前に振り向いて欲しかっただけなんだ。そのために何回も生き返って、お前がやってくるのを心待ちにしていた。でも、あいつは人間なんだ。お前のように長く長く生きられる命じゃない。
Ultimately, immortality is forever beyond human reach. Roa hoped to preserve his identity through reincarnation, but even that had its limits. Ultimately, he only created a clone that shared his goals. He failed to preserve his original memories, self, or emotions, not in any way that retained their worth. Both disheartened the beauty that captivated it faded over the centuries. No one, least of all Roa, could withstand such the ravage of time.
ロアはいないのと同じなんだ。あいつは始まりの命令に沿って同じことを繰り返すだけのプログラムと変わらない。だからこの辺りで終わりにしてやらないと。
シキ、あなたもう。
The madness recedes from Arkway's eyes. Savage gold dims to tender crimson. Her golden hair sways under the moonlight. Once more, she's that otherworldly woman who stole my heart. I look up at her like she's the moon in the night sky. I'm sorry, CL, but Arkway really is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. From her crimson eyes to her regal yet gentle bearing, to the slender contours of her pale body, even to the bloody blossom I slashed across her breast. I'm sorry that it has to end this way. My chest twinges at the thought of what might have been. Good going, Arkwade. If only you'd come to your senses a little sooner, we wouldn't have needed to act out this little farce.
そうなの、シキ。あなた、もうロアと一つなの？
I couldn't say. All I know is that I've finally pushed myself too far. My memories are unraveling even as I lie here. My worldview and Roa's meld into one. Someone told me that trying to look at what I can't see would end up breaking me. I wonder who that was. I can't remember anymore.
何よ、バカ。それじゃあシエルに殺されてやるっていうの？あなたは。
まさか。けどお前のおかげでこのざまだ。もう長くは持たないだろう。
Arkway looks down at herself. At the vertical slash my knife tore down her chest.
信じられない。今まで私をこんなに傷つけた相手はいなかったわ。
It's true. I'll be the first and last to touch Arkwade's heart. I can be proud of that at least.
本当に残念。けど、 私もそろそろ限界みたい。この傷を治すには故郷に戻ってまた長い眠りにつかないと。
だろ。ならさっさと帰っちまえ。
She doesn't reply. The pause between us isn't a silence as such, just a shared moment. A lull while we both feel the weight of our parting.
嫌な男。最後まで憎まれ口を叩くんだから、ちょっとぐらい優しいこと言ってくれるかなって期待したのに。
なんだそれら。優しくして欲しかったらもっとか弱いとこ見せろ、バカ。
If she wants me to bare my heart, there it is. A memory flashes before my eyes. A fond recollection of walking the streets together. Though it always seemed we'd rather bicker than connect.
でも四季のそういうところが好きだったな。
Those are the last words she ever says to me. With a smile on her face, she dissolves into mist.
なんだ、同じだったのか。
I left my gaze to the moon above. For a moment, just a moment, we were back the way we used to be. I really did love her in the end. Roa's influence had nothing to do with it. I just wanted to see more of her smile. That we spent our final moments together, fighting is one last cruel irony. I wonder why things ended up this way. I've made my share of mistakes, but as far as Arcway was concerned, I always thought I'd steered the right course. The bleeding won't stop. Every breath I take forces a spurt of blood from my throat. My consciousness flickers. Arcway could have managed a little more restraint. My half-vampiric body has its perks, but it can't heal a hole in my chest. Funny, I thought it would. A jolt shudders through me. It's not my heart. That stopped beating a long time ago. It's my head. I must have fried my brain trying to keep up with Arcwade. Roa's will is waxing, while all that remains of Shikitono is steadily waning. Soon, my body will shut down. If I die in the interim, control of it will pass to Roa. A true vampire like him will recover from this wound in a way I never could. And then I'll end up going through the same horrors that CL did.
ごめん。
I know I'm only making myself feel better, but I still feel like I have to say it. My body shudders again. I'm holding onto consciousness by my fingertips now. Before I let go, I turn my eyes on myself. There, where my old scar marks my chest, I find it. The point that marks my death in Roa's. You said you wanted to make me happy. Do you remember that? If you really meant it, don't throw your life away. All I can do is apologize. She deserves so much, and I've been able to give her none of it. But this, at least, I can do. Here, at the last, I can free her from her burden. Exhaling slowly, I bring my knife to my chest. The tip rests against my point of death. While that's not just to push down. It'll be so easy. Don't. A voice whispers in my ear. I must be hearing things.
Tono-kun!
Someone cries my name. I turn to see her running my way, her wounds healed. Don't. My resolve will falter if I look her in the eye. Guilt will rob me of the strength to hold the knife. I have to finish this before she comes. I push down. The knife slides in without so much as a whisper. It's so easy. It'll be so easy. As I once did so many years ago. I fall into a deep, deep darkness. A distant voice reaches my ears. There it is. I knew it. I knew if I stuck around long enough to hear her cry. I'd end up regretting my choice.